Welcome to this fringe event, which is organised by Public Finance and CIPFA. We think we've got a really good subject to discuss and a fantastic panel. The topic ahead of us is kill or cure. In what shape will public services be after the government's deficit reduction plan?
This is really where I come to the couple of prerequisites, the couple of fundamental issues that I think need to be addressed. The first is that it seems to me that to stand any chance of having a good outcome, we need to get absolute total focus on this challenge of rebalancing the public finances. I would say that the government is exhibiting anything other than that sort of that focus at the moment. It seems to me at the moment the government is still trying to do lots of other stuff. It's the kind of its reforming instincts and zeal are still out there dreaming up a variety of desirable reforms which have little or nothing to do with rebalancing the public finances. The classic example, I think, are the health reforms. Why would you embark upon such an ambitious reform programme in such a sensitive and such a hugely important public service at the same point at which there are massive financial challenges to address? And frankly, if we continue to have those sort of quotes desirable reforms in play at the same time that we're dealing with the financial challenges aren't going to get our undivided attention. We are going to be hugely distracted by the big reforms, as I would say the whole of the management of the health service is currently distracted. The second one is that if we're to come out of all of this successfully, I think we need a different sort of public service organisation in the future. We need a different style of public service organisations in the future. Organisations with a different culture than our public service organisations currently exhibit. We need organisations that are passionate about delivering high quality services, but equally passionate about delivering value for taxpayers' resources. I think at our very best we see some public services that are like that at the moment, but frankly it's hard to find those kind of brilliant examples. Lots of our public services are passionate about delivering high quality and delivering good services, but feel that in order to do so they need a kind of constant supply of increasing resources, and we need a different focus in that area.
The incompetence of Eric Pickles. He was so eager to be the good boy when negotiating with the Chief Secretary of the Treasury, so eager to get round the other side of the table and to tackle whatever it is, the Ministry of Defence, that he actually sold local government down the river. And that's something from which possibly we will never recover. But just in case he hadn't annoyed us enough, what we also get is the tone problem. Certainly the leader of one of our more significant councils has said that Friday he looks forward to whatever it is that comes out of CLG, the latest thing which is aimed at, he said, the news of the world, whatever that was, but some other Sunday newspaper, playing always to the Daily Mail, playing always to the Mail on Sunday, playing to the Sunday papers in general on cheap digs at local government. And that has been a constant theme. It's not just him, he is merely the worst. So we get the idiot approach on twin bins. It is none of his business at all, whether councils collect their rubbish fortnightly or weekly.
I am on the Public Accounts Committee. It really is mind-boggling what we sit and listen to every week, and the quality of management in the public sector, particularly in government, are absolutely appalling. And if you want an example, just look online today at the Fire Control Room project, which even veterans of the Public Accounts Committee, because we've just published our report today, even veterans of the committee are saying it's the worst project they've ever seen. I'll just give you one statistic. They spent £500 million not providing call centres for 250 people. So that's £2 million per person. We could have bought them a mansion each, and the project hasn't worked. That's the amount of money that's been wasted. Despite what our opponents say, that the cuts actually aren't that draconian. They're not that much different to what Labour would have done, which is an important point. And we're still spending and going to spend at the rate that we were just 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. This is not getting rid of the state or rolling back the state in a massive way. This is a course correction which we think is absolutely necessary.
We are, though, seeing a significant reduction in funding for non-statutory services. So the nice-to-haves are going for very vulnerable children and young people. And that's a real shame, because some of the things the kind of things that you're talking about, the kinds of things that keep children and young people with, say, disabilities able to operate in the community are beginning to be taken away. And it is undoubtedly the case that the welfare state and the post-Beveridge settlement is under terminal pressure, in my view. And we really do need a more honest and considered conversation about what this means, and the one that I think we're having at the moment.
I do think that point about Beveridge being broken is absolutely right. I was on a panel quite similar to this a few months ago, and we had a very well-regarded local government chief exec, and he said the crisis that we face now is not about cuts, it's about demand. Now, actually, that's not entirely true. It's about both. But what's very striking when I look at the data about public services is that in service area after service area, the pressure for change was building up well before 2010. The cuts bring the day of reckoning an awful lot closer, and they make the process of meeting those challenges very difficult. And when we say the cuts aren't that draconian, I mean, of course, you're right about where we go back to. It's not that far back. But, go and tell that to people in local authorities. Some of them are taking, some of your authorities maybe, are taking cuts of 10, 15% this year alone. Now, they're managing it. One of the things I love about local government is that, they'll suck it up, they'll carry on. The reason that the answer to the question is neither kill or cure. The reason it's not kill is because local government, in particular, will just suck this up and carry on. They'll find ways of doing it